And at this point, the term DevOps has permeated our discussions around software deployments and how IT professionals can automate the process of software delivery. On this segment of TI Now at Mobile World Congress 2016, Pierre-Olivier Mathis, Director of Telco Global Solutions at Red Hat, will tell us how service providers and the larger telecom community will benefit from the cultural movement called DevOps. Pierre, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. I wanted to say, just for our people that can hear in this booth, there's no better person to talk about DevOps with. As you know, DevOps began in Silicon Valley, really with the FANG companies.
Yes.
I want you to tell us quickly what the FANG companies are and the significance of that, but really what DevOps are.
Great. So the FANG is really the connotation of Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, and Google. But it's wider, the adoption and the culture of the DevOps really started in the Silicon Valley, as you said. And what we're seeing right now in the trend in the marketplace is the DevOps is really a cultural shift of how we deploy, develop applications. And what we're seeing is the tremendous pressure from the telco are seeing now their competitors really coming from this FANG organization group of companies where they have a much faster way of developing and deploying, and it forces really the telcos to really react to this. And DevOps is a means way to accelerate this. But there's also some conflicting things happening with DevOps versus the telco. So it's a clash of two worlds coming together.
Now, sorry to interrupt, the two worlds, software developers and IT system administrators
that's
and
right.
management professionals.
So DevOps, the term DevOps really comes from developers and operations, system admin, working together in an agile way. And what we mean by that is they tend to work in groups, small groups of 4 or 5, where they actually code in a very, very fast pace. And usually we call them sprints. A sprint is usually a 2 weeks type of development, and there's also a scrum master that kind of leads the group. It's a very flat organization, collaborative process, and it's made to really at a quick cadence to deliver and fail often and fail fast, so you can actually learn from your mistakes and make sure that the code is actually more supportable.
Pierre, can you give me an example of this relationship between these system administrators, these IT professionals, and these software developers? Maybe something from Red Hat's perspective.
So what you tend to see is, as an example, is the mobile world. Today, if you look at mobile application, almost 95% or 100% is basically built on DevOps, DevOps agility software development model. And so what you're seeing is as slowly from the mobile side, we're moving closer to the network. And so the network folks are actually realizing the benefits of DevOps, and they're saying, how can I port this methodology for me as a network and an FV function to accelerate that? And we're seeing this synergy, and we're also seeing this conflict, because there's a lot of things that you can do on the mobile side where the network side has a lot more stringent SLAs than versus on the apps dev side for mobile.
Now, of course, the telecom sector is really grabbing on, if you will, to DevOps. So what's the methodology behind DevOps that the telecom sector is so interested in?
So really what they're trying to do is this whole ecosystem of OTT, application, OSS, BSS, they're trying to modernize, if you will, and they're trying to get ready for this 5G that we're right around the corner. Right? And in order to live in this new 5G world, you'll start to see a much more cloud development, and you'll start seeing the emergence of containers living inside the network. And we also see a future where you see the application, storage, and networking moving into this container environment. And in order to live in this container environment, you really have to think about agility and DevOps to support this type of ecosystem.
Now, of course, Pierre, telcos are considered slower moving into new technologies. Of course, as DevOps started in Silicon Valley, I'm sure they gravitated towards that methodology much faster than carriers can and maybe do at this point. From your experience and your background in the carrier space, do you feel like carriers are migrating towards that DevOps fast enough?
I don't think they want to do it faster, and they want partners to help them, enable them to do that. And it's not just the technology, there's a technology piece, there's also a process piece. And what we feel as Red Hat is we have the capabilities to help them, to bridge them from the old world to the new world. And this is what we call Mode 1, making the shift to Mode 1 environment, which is the traditional IT, to a Mode 2, which is the agile DevOps methodology. And so having an open source background and having the ability and capabilities of really working in both of these worlds, we feel that we're confident to help them accelerate in this path of of DevOps for telcos.
Do you think it's a process change for carriers or more of a cultural change? And if that's so,
Yes.
isn't that learning curve and the adoption curve longer?
Absolutely, and the cultural change is going to be the big linchpin here for DevOps and DevOps adoption. But you're starting to see from the major carriers and making announcement, we have to make this change, or there's going to be some large consequences. We'll start losing market shares to these OTTs that have a much faster cadence than we do.
Pierre, it's always great to talk to you. I know that you were going to talk about DevOps in a way that others may not feel comfortable to do that, and we appreciate your time. Thanks.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
Thanks, Pierre. And for, as always, for all of our coverage here at Mobile World Congress 2016, you can visit us at tianow.org, and for social media, you can visit us on Twitter at TIA_now. So long.